If copying and pasting the same sales email 100 times a day was a sport, you'd be an Olympian. Let's save your sanity with HubSpot's sales templates and snippets.
Welcome to HubSpot Mentors, brought to you by Red Pants Digital. I'm Semih, joined by my one and only friend Tasha and the HubSpot Whisperer. And just like T said, if you are writing the same sales emails hundreds of times over and over again, this is the episode for you, right? So, struggling to keep your messaging content consistent, sales email templates, snippets can save you time and a whole heap of efforts if you know how to use them properly, and you won't sound like a robot. Because I think that's one of the feedback that I've been receiving from people, right? You'll then be able to improve your response rates, streamline your outreach, and just get to the point. And there's also a whole heap of other stuff that you can tie sales emails to that would then automate a whole bunch of things for you today. So in this episode, we'll show you how to set them up properly, why use them, and the common mistakes to avoid.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
Tasha. I think as well, Semih, what we're going to dig into before we go into our featured feature, which is obviously, surprise, surprise, snippets and templates for this episode. But like what we see a lot of when we're implementing these sales tools for businesses is understanding the difference between the two tools, because templates is very different to snippets. And I don't think people realize that until we give them some contextual evidence. How to create high converting ones, to Semih's point, so that you don't sound like a robot and you're using the same crap over and over again. Obviously, mistakes. We see lots of mistakes. We make lots of mistakes, learn from our mistakes, and then just personalizing at scale. I think even just yesterday I was with a client and they want to send these on scale kind of like one-to-one outreach type of emails, and that's with, sales emails in HubSpot. So before we get into the, the thing that everyone wants to see, how to use the thing, Semih, we've been using these tools long enough to know that pain points, problems, whatever you want to call them, there are some things about these very powerful tools that come with flaws, right? Nothing's perfect. So what we want to share with you is just a few known issues that we're aware of, and then just, I guess, ways that you can overcome them.
Yeah, sales emails, templates. Yeah, let's get to it. I think in general, I feel like it's underutilized for some businesses, and some businesses overutilize them, right?
Yeah.
So
what do you mean by overutilize?
So
tell me more. What happens when we're overutilizing these templates?
You have so many different templates to choose from. There's no you're spending hours trying to figure out what template to use, right? So there's no need to have 1,000 templates, in my opinion, right? It's just more about making sure that you use those templates as a basis for you to then build up on some form of customizability, right? Like personalization, right? So there's definitely that component of it.
I think that's key, what you just said, Semih, using the templates as a basis to build upon customization. That's what people don't remember. They forget that. They're like, oh, templates, automation, sequences, give it all to me. And it's like, no. Have 5 to 10 really solid sales templates that are going to be super powerful to use over and over and over again. You have to customize them, right? We're not talking about the mass outreach here. We're talking about templates for follow-up meetings, for Mr. Call meetings, nice to meet you meetings, here's your proposal meetings. The amount of these very key strategic templates that you can use in your sales templates is not going to be overusing and then turning it into invaluable because there's too many of them and you don't know what one to use. And you're keeping them engaged. You're using the tool, you're keeping them engaging, and you're not going over the top.
Just to be clear, because I think that I keep getting this, I got this, today I had to explain it a couple of times to the client just to make sure that we were on the same page. What we're talking about sales email templates is different to marketing email templates.
100%.
Two different things.
Yeah.
Right?
This is not Marketing Hub talk. This is purely Sales Hub.
We're just pure Sales Hub for sequences, for sending emails out of your inbox, impersonating you, right? Yeah. Marketing emails through automations, nurture sequences, that's completely different.
We're going to talk about that next episode.
Yeah, that's right? That's done differently on a different feature of within HubSpot. So just to be very clear, make everyone on the same page. We're talking about the, hey, I met you yesterday.
Yes.
Love to talk to you about HubSpot. and we talked about XYZ, that type of email.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, now that we know what we're talking about, we're very, very clear on it, hopefully. We've just spoken about having, like, don't overuse impersonal templates. So keep the template amount to a number that you're actually going to use and is going to be impactful for you. Another issue or problem that we've seen come up and people ask us about how they like overcome that is there's limited formatting options. But my response to this every single time is, yeah, exactly that. Like, it's meant to be like that. It's not meant to be an over-engineered, designed marketing email. It's meant to be plain text, one-to-one, limited design, because without getting too technical, email receivers will go through, it's code, right? The code will read the email. And if they can't see something that can be read, like an image, they can't read an image. If they can't read the thing, spam straight away. So it's not meant to be overly formatted. I don't think it needs advanced styling. They should look plain. It's enough for you to embed a one-to-one video, and that's all that matters.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's no point to overcomplicate it. It's there to just be like, hey, I met you yesterday. Let's catch up again. So that's the whole point of those email templates.
That's it.
They're also different snippets, Tash. Like, they're fundamentally different snippets because snippets are when they use email templates and snippets, that's when it becomes a problem, right?
When they use email templates, sorry, do you mean when they use snippets as email templates? And I see that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, good on you for using snippets, but that's the wrong way to use it.
Exactly. Right?
Exactly. Other problems, Semih, with snippets and templates?
Tracking issues.
Yep.
Right? Open and click tracking can sometimes be inaccurate because, especially with email privacy stuff, we did, I want to get a little bit technical, but sometimes when you send an email out, the first email that is opened is through the other person's security code receiver. Sometimes, so if it says open clicked, it may not necessarily be opened and click. So
by the person.
That you should be aware
it could be opened
of.
by like a security bot or something like that. So keep that in mind.
Correct.
Keep that in mind,
That's
yeah. And
correct.
sometimes when you see really high engagement rates with those emails, like I'm talking 30, 40, 50 plus opens, the email's been forwarded, and HubSpot has no way of showing you that an email's been forwarded. I don't know why. We're not technical people, but I'm assuming it's something to do with code, but there's nothing we can do about it. So suck it up. A few more things.
Yeah, so manual personalization still needed. So you still need to customize some. You need to put placeholders in place so you don't forget how to do them. You still need to think about multiple people using it. So therefore, it's still, you still need to really think about the email that's been written out. Now there is also a lack of A/B testing functionality with email templates. But you can also tackle that with, if you tie that up with a sequence, we talked about sequence in one of the previous episodes, not dynamic ones, but just standard ones, you do have the option of doing A/B testing. So that there is that option as well. But it's not as like a marketing email template you're going to be sending out.
He's solution seeker, Semih, for you.
Creative.
Offering you a workaround on something that we weren't meant to talk about today, but you just can't help yourself. So Semih's spot on. You can't A/B test sales templates, but Semih's just giving you a really nice workaround using dynamic sequencing. But we'll finish off on one of the problems is limited dynamic content. So even though you can use tokens, just to kind of echo what Semih was saying, there's only so much dynamicness you can do in these emails. You still need to put the placeholder text. So a template is great, but you have to remember to customize it, obviously, right?
Yeah. You can, and again, I'm giving you guys possibilities with templates and stuff, but there is also options of using, pre-filled properties to then update those templates through the personalization stuff that you may be able to see. But this is now we're talking a little bit more advanced than what a standard template is.
Samy's can't help himself. He wants to give you those options. All right, Semih, with that said, we know what the tool is. We know the difference between the tools. Let's get into your featured feature, which is sales email templates and snippets.
So for today's featured feature, just going to run you through how to create email templates and create snippets. So once you're in HubSpot, on the left-hand side navigation bar, scroll all the way down to library. That's where you'll find your templates and snippets feature within HubSpot. Let's jump into the templates feature. In here, I've already created one, but we'll just go ahead and create a new one from scratch. Now, once you're in here on the right-hand side, you've got a new template option here. Once you select that, you have a couple options. You have either start from scratch, which doesn't give you anything, or use a template library. Now, you can either use either or, but I'm going to select template library just because it's got some resources from it, get some ideas around, or think about something that I might be using the email templates for. So once we're in here, we've got first touch emails and you've got follow-up emails. Now, look for the one that is going to be resembling what your next step is going to be. Let's just say that I'm looking for continue the conversation and open up the dialogue as a follow-up option. That's what we want to do with this feature. So once you select that, let's go into save selection. That will then open up a new template or create a new template for you to then customize and edit based on your liking, right? So once you click into that, it will then pop up the template page. In here, you've got the template. Now, this name here refers to the internal name. So when you're searching for this template, this is what you'll see. You won't see the subject name. So just to be clear, this is what you'll see when you're looking for it. So make sure you put something in there that would resemble that. So it could be like, for example, if there's a continued conversation, an open dialogue might be a little bit vague for you. So you can be like, continue conversation, email, number 1 or number 2, whatever, number 3, depending on what that would look like. And so that's what you want to continue conversation with, or follow up email, whatever that would look like, right? So subject line is fix problems with moving forwards. Let's just say that you want to add a personalization to address the person's name. You can do that by click onto the next to the name. And then on the left-hand side, use personalize and then look for, and that will then pop up all the properties within HubSpot under the contact object, right? The one we're looking for right now is the first name. First name. That will then come here. Select that. It will then add this little orange space. And now this space would then look at your CRM and pull that information. So what it would read is like Bob or John or whoever it is, fixing problems, moving forwards. If that makes sense for you, great. If that doesn't make sense for you, change it as you wish. So you do have a couple of options as well. So this is where you'll be able to add hi, again, personalization token, or company space, about company space name, as well as email challenges, blah, blah, blah. So you got kind of have the whole list of stuff that you want to add in here. And at the bottom here, you do have, like, for example, sender's email meeting link. To do this, you got options of going insert. You can attach a document that you have in there. You can attach a snippet from the snippet section. Meeting link video. So you got a couple of options that you can insert in here for you to then utilize. And then once in here, for example, this is going to be not for me, but it's going to be for the company. So what I'm going to do is change that from best Semih to go back into the personalization token to the sender. So I'm looking for right now is a sender. So click on sender. That would then add option for me to then put it in there, or put whatever information I want to put in there. I want to put the first name, a full name, sorry. So that will include my first name and last name together in one space. And that's it. This is my email template. Obviously, to use the email template, make sure that you have your email connected and make sure that you have your email signature set up with HubSpot. Otherwise, it just won't make sense using these email templates. They'll just be like plain text and there's nothing else to it. I think that's it for the email templates. Once you're done with it, just update existing template or create a new template, whatever that looks like. While you're here as well, little option you can try out as well once you play around with the email template section is you can also generate a template using AI. It will give you a whole bunch of questions you can fill out, what type of feel or tone you want, what do you want to communicate, and then once you do that, it'll go through some email templates that you'll just be able to select, and that will then produce those templates for you as well. So plenty of options to utilize that function. Now, let's jump into snippets, and I'll tell you the difference between the two. So if you go into snippets, again, the email templates, this is for sales email templates, and for snippets, it's a free plain text you can utilize on any part of HubSpot for whatever reason. You can even utilize it for the email template that you want to create, as we just went over before. So to create a new template, you go into create a template in the snippet section, and in here you've got an internal name. Again, it just gives you a little blur on what the intention of the snippet is. So like, for example, phrase, line, or like a little text that you would often use, or meeting agenda, or whatever that looks like. I used to use it for sending out customized email templates to my salespeople or to the prospect that I've spoken with, because it was just too late to say, hey, John, Bob, it was great speaking with you. If you want to catch up, let me know, whatever that would look like. I'll just create a snippet and that would just recreate it for me every single time when I was logging that as a note, just a side note, right? So email template, let's just say that you want to go about us, and you put the blurb in. It's the same thing. You do have the option of putting in, obviously, customizing that little text. Personalization, you can put the personalization stuff as you had in the email template section. Obviously, there's no you got sender email information in there as well, but there's no insert for you to then insert content in here, because again, the intention behind it is for a text format rather than email template. Once that's done, all you need to do is a shortcut for you to then use the @ symbol to then pull this up while you're in the go. That's it. Once you do that, let's just say hi XYZ, YZ, and then let's just put number 1. It will give you the option to save the snippet, and that we would then be able to save it and use it for any other place that you would want to use it, like templates. You can use it for quotes. You can use it in notes, meetings, blogs, whatever you want to use it for, all within HubSpot, or even on the email extension, like Google Outlook extension. Plenty of options there. So that's the main difference between email templates and snippets. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Semih. That was really cool, very insightful. Hopefully that gives our listeners / watchers a bit more insight into how to use the snippets tool versus the templates tool in HubSpot. With that said, guys, if you're using HubSpot sales email templates and snippets, let us know if they've helped your processes. They've definitely helped us. I know we've got a bunch that we use individually, but then also as the team. Let us know in the comments or reach out. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps more HubSpot users find this podcast and get the most out of their tools. Before we wrap up, Semih, do you have any final mentions you want to say?
Just experiment and keep using it. These are the tools that's going to save you time and energy and effort. So enjoy.
I love
That's
it.
From me.
Until next time,
Thanks,
quit
guys.
writing the same email 50 times a day. Let HubSpot do the heavy lifting while you take the credit. See you next time on HubSpot Mentors.
Bye.